And welcome back. We've been focusing on tech the whole hour today as part of the Fox Business Network's Summer of Opportunity, looking at startups this summer that are so-called game changers in their sector. Today, Timur Ruban, president of Radical Computing Corporation, which will change the way you shop and do other things.
This is a fascinating story.
This really is. I mean, you know, it reminds me of the old song Signs, you know, from the five-man acoustical band. But you guys are going to help, you know, people really point the way to avoid crowds and be more efficient in their everyday life, if I understand this correctly.
Well, we want the walls of the institution to talk to you.
Wait, so let's paint this picture really quick, because I mean, this story sets it up great. An article on foxbusiness.com. I'm going to get on the subway. I want to pick the least busy car. I walk into a store and nobody's helping me. I want help picking out my suit or whatever it is. Yes. This technology helps me with that. How?
Well, it will know both about your visitation, other people's visitations, and the resources that companies in fact have to be able to help you with this. From personal resources, as in salespeople on the floor, all the way to stock that may not be available or may be available for the products you're looking at. What could be more frustrating than looking at a specific product? Maybe you're looking at a nice suit and finding out that's not available in the color you want or in the right size you want. So we're looking at a unity, integration between the front side systems. Basically think of enabling walls to see who you are, to see where you're walking, to see what's happening, and learning about the back office portions of the institution.
So this doesn't necessarily help me, but this advertises what I'm looking for.
Too, because your experience to some extent is what you're trying to improve.
Okay.
I mean, as you mentioned before,
how do you make money on this?
Me or the company who deploys it.
You founded it, and then the company. Okay, so you're not a part of the company that.
Well,
now...
no, we make the technology, but if you're asking both, we would make the money because we can sell the products.
Right.
The smart devices that in fact can bring it all together.
Okay, so I have to have this device, and how much does that cost?
They started about $1,200. Actually, it's not very expensive. One of the goals we looked at was to be able to bring it to small businesses.
Well, what sort of businesses are you catering to mostly right now? Is it retail?
Well, retail is one of the forefront basically of the technology, because especially nowadays it's quite complex to be able to manage all of the inventories, quite complex to be able to have enough staff, make sure they're all educated, knowledgeable about the products. And then we're looking at things like medical institutions, higher education. Wherever people are working, you need to be able to provide them with assistance to learn about the things you do, how to do it better, and find out what it is they want to do.
So inspired by Minority Report, I understand you're watching the movie, the 2002 Spielberg film with Tom Cruise. He walks by and all the ads are tailored to the individual who's walking by, and that's sort of where you drew your inspiration from, right?
Indeed, yes. The environment of communication has to be natural. While we all love to look at computers and we love to look at our cell phones, in reality we'd like to be able to walk, and in a native to us environment, we would like to be able to be communicated to the things we're interested in.
So how many customers do you have so far?
We're right now about 300 customers.
And what kind of feedback are you getting? Be honest.
There's a learning curve. Not everyone is ready for technology, but the beauty of it is in fact that it can start with basics, as in I would like to be able simply to display my advertising for relevant topics. But people are starting to now get more into tracking. Wouldn't you want to know how many people are walking into your store, what they're looking at, and what they've done? And when you start combining it together with the content advertising and messaging, evolution slowly starts.
One of the examples here is that if you can't find your seat at a crowded sports arena, can you explain how that would happen? Because I think a lot of people might be interested in that.
Well, wayfinding would be a very good example. This is now where we can talk about integration between your maybe barcode ticket, screens that are in a facility, as well as a small map on your iPhone. The walls of the institution, who would know exactly what barcode means and where the seat is, will be able to guide you, specifically through the screens, and maybe send a message with the map.
Can it get you to the bathroom with the smallest line?
Well, that would be a challenge,
but after halftime?
That would be a very good area to explore as well, too.
Yeah, and, or to find your car afterwards out in the parking lot. I mean,
well, indeed, I mean, the car spots, for instance, to be able to manage them somehow and direct to see if you can actually target where you've been, and then map you through it. That would be a very good example.
Well, you know, but what's the bigger story here? I mean, is this a trend? Are we just going to, you know, not decide anything anymore, clip something on our steering wheel and it drives us to work, and we walk in a store and it tells us where to go? I mean, is this just the way things are going to go? I mean, I don't know that I'm ready for this.
Well, we'll leave you a little bit of choice. But think of a, like you mentioned Big Brother before, think of a gentle matrix. think of something that will be able to create a better environment for you, where some of the unnecessary or difficult choices or access to the information will be provided to you easily, yet the final choice, of course, is still yours. We can't take that away.
Very interesting
Yes.
topic. It must be hard to debut a topic or a product like this in a recession, though.
Well, it's pros and cons. I mean, the recession definitely doesn't allow a lot of technology products to be included in the budgets. However, this is where technology augments human beings, and where you can't afford necessarily to add additional human resources, you could deploy technology, which is much more efficient and, to some extent, lesser expensive.
Any interesting customers that you've got? Any famous customers or...
Well, in about a month, if you'll walk a couple of blocks down from Broadway, you'll see a very exciting opening of a store, which I may not be able to mention to you, except that it's a financial institution where we have a very exciting project. So September 8th is that.
September 8th, what's happening?
There'll be an opening of a new store of a major financial institution who's
Okay.
deploying all of our technologies throughout the facility.
So how would they use it in a real-world experience for someone going in?
From basic simple things like being able to track visitations throughout the store where customers are walking in, to be able to have screens reviewing if in fact you have high traffic in one area, to be able to guide you to another one where you could do certain transactions in areas, all the way to have screens interacting based on your experience, what it is in fact you can do, how easily get your rewards, loyalty points, etc.
And how have you seen as far as advertising is concerned? I mean, what sort of interest have you seen?
Well, for advertising industry always is very interested in products like this because...
Have they shown interest?
Well, digital signage overall has been pretty much driven by advertising industry. Now, I'm sure companies like Nielsen and others would be very interested in a truly reportable advertising, something digital signage provides. And we have actually a number of advertising agencies who are looking to deploy this amongst their customers.
All right, well, we're going to have to wrap at that. Timur, Ruban, president of Radical Computing Corporation. Really cool story.
September 8th, we're going to have to roll down Broadway, I guess, and check this out.
Really edgy. And real quick, do you have an iPhone, BlackBerry, or other smartphone?
I have an iPhone and actually an HP smartphone.
All right, there you go.
Wow,
well,
it's
guys,
doubling down.
right now, 50% of people, believe it or not, say they don't have a smartphone. 35% have BlackBerry.
Someone said they don't need it. It also, though, presents opportunity, I guess, for those.
12% have iPhones. That's how